Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ivana, and most of you who follow me on social media know me as a detox specialist, an iridologist, and a fasting coach. But I am also a closeted psychic, channel, energy healer, and a teacher of consciousness. After the recent reading I did for the general energy surrounding the new moon solar eclipse, I am back with another reading for you, as I am finding this direction quite exciting. And being in tune with my life purpose and divine guidance, I am following my passion wherever it takes me. And it happens to be taking me in the direction of offering my spiritual gifts to anyone who is aligned with my vibration. The following reading is going to be a pick a card reading, which is currently a very popular format for intuitive tarot readings on YouTube. Most of those readings focus on romance, but being a healer and a part of the natural health community, the divine inspiration compelled me to tune into the energies of those who are pursuing healing, both physical and emotional, and who may find themselves facing challenges and unknowns in regards to their condition. So today I'm going to connect with the energies of those who resonate with my brand of messaging and general philosophy to see if I can offer you some insight and guidance on your healing journey. This is a timeless reading, meaning that it will be applicable whenever you find yourself drawn to it. Now, you get to choose from 3 piles with corresponding crystals that I have selected for you. First pile is the carnelian heart. The second pile is honey calcite that is kind of shaped like a heart. And the third pile is the green aventurine heart. When picking your pile, use your intuition and go by the feeling rather than trying to deduce the best fit based on your favorite color or stone. So don't overthink it. And it's perfectly fine if you're drawn to more than one pile. Keep in mind that this is a general reading, which is reflective of the collective energies of many individuals who are tuning into it. Some things may not apply to you specifically. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Now, before we begin, I want to emphasize that no one is at the mercy of fate or external circumstances, and nothing is written in stone. There are no victims, only willing participants, and each one of us is a powerful creator of our reality. I also want to remind everyone that we cannot predict the future because as such, it does not exist. What do I mean by this? We exist in the quantum field of probabilities, constantly shifting between countless probable realities. So during a reading, the best we can do is tune into the present energies, and therefore the strongest future probability that is most likely to emerge based on the current vibration. If that energy changes for whatever reason, so does the future probability. And by the way, your very awareness of a likely probability inevitably changes it, because now you have thoughts and feelings about it, thus altering its energetic signature. This means that the predicted probability will manifest slightly differently, deviating from the original format. Often, the main purpose of a reading is to see which way our vibration is trending. And if that direction does not reflect our best preference, we then have the opportunity to make the necessary adjustments in order to align our frequency with a more desired outcome. My intention is always to be of service and offer assistance from the highest place of love, gratitude, and divine connection. How is this going to go is that first I am going to describe the person tuning into each pile, thus helping you to discern if you pick the right pile for yourself. And then we're going to look into what ails you, what are the underlying issues that may be driving your condition, and get guidance on what you can do to improve your situation as well as the probable outcome. If you want, you can now pause the video to choose your pile and then use the timestamps in the description box to jump to your reading. Alright, pile 1, if you picked the carnelian heart, this is going to be your reading. So, I already drew some cards to tell me what kind of person you are, what drives you, and I used 4 different decks here. I have not flipped these cards over, so I have no idea what they are, and I'm quite interested to see what kind of magical creature you are, pile 1. And my intention was to draw 3 tarot cards, but I had 4 cards that jumped out, so I just decided to keep the extra card. So we'll see what they are, okay? Okay. Wow, pile 1, you're an interesting person and you're not to be trifled with. What's interesting is that you have both the Lyran card as well as the Strength card. Now, the Strength card is the Leo card, and the Lyran card represents the feline extraterrestrial race. Lyrans are very strong, fiery people, as are Leos, and they do not suffer fools gladly. They're very passionate, honest. They can be combative when it comes to standing up for what they believe. They're strong, very strong people. So again, we have strength in Lyrans, and the Strength card representing triumphing over our lower instincts, over our shadow self. This is the sign ruled by the sun. Leos are very bright, very warm, standout type of people. Both cards represent courage and bravery. Very strong, fiery energy. So you, pile 1, are really bold, really courageous. You're all about honor and respect. Now you also come across as the Queen of Light. You're the bringer of illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. So very strong sun energy here. You are the kind of person who stands out in the crowd. You are not a wallflower. You come into the room and everybody notices you. A very bright, colorful individual. Now you also show up as the Chariot. And the Chariot is the Cancer influence. A Cancer is a very nurturing sign. It's the mothering sign. That this is the energy that it's all about taking care of others. But the Chariot as an archetype is a very determined energy. It's a forward-moving energy. Again, very bold energy. Somebody who takes control. Somebody who has masterful ability to navigate through life and through circumstances. Somebody who has the ability to maintain the balance between the light and the dark. You're also a very strong communicator who is extremely intelligent and who expresses intellectual ideas. You may be speaking to the public about it because, of course, Leos are all about the spotlight and being in the public eye. And with this Ace of Swords, you're cutting through muddled thinking. You're bringing in light and clarity. This is also about bringing truth. This is about cutting through bullcrap, really. This is about victory, dominance, and success. So, very, very strong personality. However, with all of this mental energy and fire energy, You're also showing up as the Page of Cups. So there's a sensitivity to you, and also creativity, and perhaps even artistic ability. So your gifts are many. And your life mission is symbolized by the golden orange dragon, which is all about expanding your light for ascension. And if you notice, the golden orange dragon has the same coloring as the Leo. Again, we have a lot of fire here, a lot of light, a lot of sun energy. This dragon is a peaceful warrior. So you came into this reality with the mission to help, to be of assistance, whoever needed. And you're probably doing this by teaching something, through communication. And the lesson you're here to learn is to remember your magnificence. The magnificence of you as a soul, as the ascended being. This is about bringing light into this world, and by bringing your light, also lighting the light within others so that they can too become aware of the light that's within them. So you are a very, very impressive type of person, Pile 1, and I cannot stress enough the strength and the power that you pack. This is very, very powerful energy, and people notice you. You attract a lot of attention. You're extremely intelligent, and you're extremely purposeful with your communication and how you apply your mind. So kudos to you, Pile 1. Now, what I also want to add about you and your purpose on this planet is that as the golden orange dragon, you are a part of Archangel Metatron's ascension team. You are the driving force in the movement of ascension on the planet. And just as the Queen of Light signifies, you guys are bringing dignity, peace, and power, as well as wisdom, wherever you go. You are the peaceful spiritual warriors. Now, let's look at what kind of issues you may be dealing with, either physically or emotionally. I'm gonna turn this over since my deck is upside down. Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, so let's see. You have the Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles reversed, Justice card, and Hermit reversed. Just so you know, Hermit is Virgo energy, Justice for me is Libra energy, and King of Pentacles for me is Gemini energy. So the Ace of Wands represents a new beginning and some kind of a passionate new start. This card says that a passion has been ignited within you that is driving you forward, but this impulse has left you a little bit ungrounded with the King of Pentacles reversed. Now, the Ace of Wands is often thought to be a phallic symbol. So there could be too much sexual stimulation, too much excitement, and maybe even activity in that area. Because I read King of Pentacles in line with Nancy Guerin's classification as the Gemini, it brings attention to the neck, ears, mouth. The twin sign rules over the upper body, including shoulders, nervous system, the airways, lungs, arms, and hands. There can also be a lot of jumpy and restless energy, a lot of nervous energy, especially with this Ace of Wands here. So I'm getting a little bit too much overstimulation, a little too much fire. The Justice card, which is Libra, rules over kidneys and equilibrium. So you may be having issues with kidneys and general elimination. Virgo, which is showing up as the Hermit, rules over pancreas and intestine. So you may be dealing with digestive issues, especially considering that the Hermit here is reversed. You may have nervous stomach with all of this overstimulation. This could manifest as IBS. And this irritable bowel syndrome can fluctuate between constipation and diarrhea. There could be inconsistencies in general with elimination, because we have kidneys that are compromised and we have the intestinal and digestive issues here with the pancreas and the small intestine. And I'm seeing here, especially in this image, it's almost like there's a weight here in the middle part of the body going downwards. So there's some sort of a blockage that you may be experiencing. And I'm seeing the same with the Hermit card in reverse, where you might see in the middle part of the body there's this ball of energy. Now, let's see what are the underlying issues or possible causes for this. I'm going to draw some additional cards to see what may be going on with you. Now we have the Death card. This is a major arcana card, and this is a Scorpio energy, the energy of transformation and change. So you are going through some sort of deep, fundamental change. Now, what I'm seeing here is that mentally, emotionally, you may be spreading yourself a little too thin and not paying attention to your feelings and your emotional and mental state, because the Hermit card here is reversed. And Hermit, of course, is about introspection, about going inward and taking stock of what's happening. So it tells me that you're not stopping long enough to check in with yourself, to rest, to recharge, to sort yourself out. It's this fire energy of going, constantly going really fast and not stopping, not paying attention to keeping things in balance. Scorpio, of course, rules genitals, and as I said, with the Ace of Wands, there may be too much sexual excitement and stimulation. So it looks to me like you're over-engaging, you're spreading yourself too thin, and you're not grounding your energy. So there is a sense of being disconnected from the body. It's almost like you're trying to avoid feeling what's happening, and there's a little bit of dissociation going on. And when you're so overstimulated, of course, your adrenal glands are going to suffer. And adrenal glands rule the kidneys. And of course, with Libra here, we have kidney issues. And these kidney issues are probably most likely caused by all this overstimulation and overextending yourself. You may be working too hard and burning the candle at both ends. You may be working too hard because the King of Pentacles is all about work, about physical manifestation, about building prosperity, about business. So yes, we have Seven of Wands here, and this is again fiery energy. This is about rolling up one's sleeves. This is about getting to work. This is about really applying yourself, but this is almost an aggressive energy. Again, going, going, going. And it leads to Nine of Swords, which is stress, mental strain. And what I see here with this card specifically, the way this Nine of Swords is depicted in this deck, is that, remember we talked about that you are the sun energy, you are the fire energy. But burning the candle at both ends, you see how that source energy, that abundant sun, fire energy, is almost moving away from you and you are from it. So you're depleting your resources. You're not allowing yourself to regenerate, to replenish. And because you don't take time for introspection, you're carrying the load all by yourself. You're not sharing with anyone about your difficulties. You're sort of suffering in silence here. You're the tough, silent type. And many of you may not even be fully aware of the full extent of the stress and burden that you're carrying and that's manifesting in your body. It's almost it hasn't hit you yet. The full weight of it has not made itself known to you yet. But it's coming. And at some point, sooner or later, you're going to run out of steam. Let's see what is driving this behavior and these physical issues. Alright, so what I have here, this is very interesting because it confirms what I have just been talking about. You have the no card, which is wait, postpone, pause, say no. You have the deep replenishment card, which is retreat, rest, and be held. Because as I said, you're burning the candle at both ends, you're running out of steam, and you're about to face the reality that you're running on empty. And you are going to crash and burn if you don't stop. Now, what drives you is the desire to rebuild and reinvent yourself. The Death card here. Transformation, deep transformation on the fundamental level. This is about healing the ancestral wounds. This is about changing the blueprint of who you are. So what's driving you here is the mission to resolve karma. This is about breaking the chain of the past generations. And you need to deal with all of these unresolved issues, and you need to tie up all the loose ends before you can embody this golden dragon, before you can fully step in to your role of the peaceful warrior, of being the light for ascension. You have to clear all the stuff. You have to transmute all the shadows before you can become the light that you are supposed to bring into this world, to guide others. This is about remembering your magnificence. This is about stripping away the muck of the physical embodiment and the earthly reality to reveal the light inside. I see that you're aware of what these issues are, and this is what drives you to keep going. This is what drives you to keep pushing yourself. You really want to achieve this transformation. You want to arrive at the place of clearing, but you're not allowing yourself to do this in a measured way. You're pushing too hard. So you're making all these changes and trying to move through these blocks without processing or assimilating them first. And this doesn't allow you to reap the full benefits of the work that you're doing on the deeper levels. So how do you achieve more balance? You got the activated Earth card. This is about tuning in to the power grid, the natural power grid of the Earth. This is about specific power places and ley lines. And you can do this by mentally sending your energy into those areas of the planet, whether or not you have ever physically been there. These are the places and areas of the powerful vortices, like Sedona, Arizona, like Hawaii. So the advice here and the guidance here is that when you are in meditation, and this is best done when you can actually be outside and you can feel the earth under your feet, or you may be lying down on the ground, because you want to ground your energy here. You really want to connect to the earth and ground this energy, because remember, as I said, with this King of Pentacles in reverse, which is a very grounding king, because pentacles are the earth element, you need to really ground yourself. So walking barefoot outside is going to help that. Consciously anchoring your energy into the ground, rooting yourself like a tree, is really going to help you to bring your energy down. Because right now you're sort of like flying high. Your lower chakras are not grounded. You're more inhabiting your top chakras, your upper chakras. This is dissociative behavior. So you must take time to slow down, to meditate, to ground, rest. Stop trying to get ahead of yourself. Going slower will get you where you want to go faster, because you're going to end up completely burnt out with adrenal exhaustion, and your body is simply going to stop functioning. Now, let me go over again the zodiac signs. We have Cancer, Leo, Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Virgo, and Scorpio. So, Cancer rules breasts, stomach, and the upper liver. Leo governs the heart, spinal cord, and the back. Pisces governs the feet. Gemini rules over the upper body and the nervous system, as well as the shoulders, lungs, arms, and hands. Libra is in charge of the kidneys and general equilibrium. And Virgo rules the pancreas and the intestines. And then we also have Scorpio, which rules the genitals. So obviously we have a lot of people that are tuning in to this reading, and you may have issues with some or maybe a few of the body parts and organs that I have mentioned here. So let's pull some guidance cards on the physical things you can do to help you improve your condition. And these are the homemade cards that I made based on my practice as a detox specialist. And there's probably 120 cards here. So let's see what you get. Okay. So you had a few things that just jumped out. Break up stagnation. So this is about pattern interruption. Change what you're doing. So stagnation in behavioral expression and emotional mental state, but also in the physiological condition. Stagnation of blood, lymph, stagnation within the digestive system is what I'm getting here. Next card I have, time is of the essence. Stop procrastinating. So some of you may have been intending to take better care of yourselves, saying that I'm going to start on Monday, I'm going to do the juice feast, I'm going to change my diet, I'm going to go to sleep earlier, I'm going to try to get more rest, I'm going to try to meditate, and then you keep putting things off. So what this card is telling me is that you really don't have much wiggle room left, because you really are reaching the end here in terms of your energy reserves. So you need to get yourself on the right track before you start suffering really uncomfortable symptoms. The next card you have is do your research. More information is needed. This tells me that maybe you haven't really figured out the right approach to how best help yourself. I would recommend that you watch Dr. Morse's videos on YouTube. You look into the raw food diet. You look into fasting, and that you really research these things so that you know what you're getting into, so that you do them properly and correctly, or you may actually hurt yourself in the long run. I'm going to pull a couple more. Next thing I have is eliminate toxic chemicals, such as makeup, cleaning agents, pesticides, and so on. And the last thing I have is structured water with activated oxygen. Could be helpful. Structured water is negatively charged water which allows it to enter the cell easily and quickly. And by adding activated oxygen to it, you're helping to oxygenate your tissues on a cellular level. Let me get one more. And I also got massage for you. So again, relaxation. All right, so let's look at the possible outcome where your situation is headed. All right. So you have the Here and Now card and Mending card. What does this mean? If you manage to stop and slow down and be more present, then you will be able to improve your situation, to regenerate, to get your health back on track. What is Pile 1's ultimate goal? Let's see what else I can get for you. So you also have here lifting the veil. Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So you really have to take stock of what you're doing and cut out things that don't serve you. Cut out harmful and self-destructive behaviors. Become really introspective. This is about going inward. This is about turning this Hermit card right side up, because it is currently reversed. Going inward. Focusing on your needs. Figuring out what your needs really are. What does your body need? What does your soul need? What are your emotional needs? And bringing all that is unconscious to light. And the final card of advice I'm going to give you is the reverse dissociation card. Again, speaks to the fact that you are not fully embodying the physical form. You are not fully present. This card says get back into alignment. Come down from the ethers and into the here and now. Become present. So Pile 1, I hope this resonated with you. And if you enjoyed your reading, please like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for stopping by. Hi Pile 2, if you picked the honey calcite, this is going to be your reading. I have pulled cards from 4 decks to give me an idea about who you are as a person, what drives you. My original intention was to get 3 cards from the classic tarot, but just like with Pile 1, I had 4 cards that popped out, so I decided to keep them. Let's see who you are, Pile 2. Alright, Pile 2. You're showing up as the Metal King. And this is a very similar energy to the King of Swords. So this is about discipline, boundaries, armor. This is about having built up walls. What's interesting is that you're also showing up as the King of Cups, which is actually a very emotional energy. So this tells me that you tend to hide your deeply sensitive nature behind the mask of intellectualism. Because we also have here the 7 of Swords. And a 7 of Swords represents wearing a mask and deception. So this tells me that you put on a show as a self-defense mechanism, that you are really detached and aloof, and you tend to overcompensate with thinking and overanalysis because there is a distrust of your emotions, as symbolized here by the Four of Cups. Because the cups, of course, are a water element, and the cups are all about emotions. And as you see this man here sitting under a tree, not paying attention to what's in front of him, to the emotions, focusing only on a limited spectrum of what's there. So in a sense, I'm reading this as hiding your true nature, your true emotional depth, not just from others, but from your own self, as a way of self-protection. Your guard is up. It is safer to express yourself through thought, through reasoning. It's almost like you're overcompensating through overthinking. There's a general distrust of your emotions. It's almost like you're cut off from your intuition. But this is something that you're willfully doing to yourself, simply because you don't seem to understand how emotions work and their significance. Maybe growing up, you were not allowed to express your emotions, or there was more emphasis on intellect and learning. Perhaps you were conditioned that the mind was more important than emotions, that it was somehow superior to the feelings that you might have. Now you also have the Hanged Man here. And the Hanged Man represents a sort of restriction, which again goes hand in hand with the restrictions of the Metal King. By embodying the Hanged Man, if you can see, you are keeping yourself immobilized. You don't have the full range of expression, the full range of motion. Inhabiting the mental does not give you the full use of your faculties. But being in this position for a long time is helping you see things from a new perspective. You're starting to see how being so focused on logic and reason is actually limiting. And from what I'm seeing here, this is a pattern that you have had throughout many lifetimes. And this incarnation is here to teach you how to break this pattern. You have the Ouroboros card here, which is the symbol of the cyclical nature of existence. This is the card of incarnations. The image depicts the snake that it's devouring its own tail. This is a cycle that keeps repeating itself. And this is about past lives, this is about infinity, this is about the wheel of karma. So it's time for you to get out of this pattern of neglecting your emotions, of being so guarded, of not allowing emotional expression. Because emotional suppression leads to physical ailments. Now, the Hanged Man is the Pisces energy, and the Pisces rules feet. The King of Cups I read as Cancer, and the Cancer rules the chest, and the breasts. So some of you may be experiencing issues in those areas of the physical body. Your karmic mission on this planet at this time is represented by the air and water dragon. What's interesting to me here is that this ties into what I was just talking about, because the air is the realm of thought, of the intellect, and water is the realm of feelings and emotions. So this is about finding a balance between the mind and the emotions. This dragon helps you to connect to higher frequencies. You see, in order to be able to utilize intuition, you must be connected to your emotions. You cannot develop psychic abilities if you don't allow yourself to feel. And enlightenment cannot happen unless you allow emotional expression. It cannot happen until you achieve a balance between these two aspects. I want to pull some more cards for you here. Okay, so you are encouraged to break this pattern that you have been perpetuating through many lifetimes. You have the Dance with Life card that says, do something to change your energy. You have to shift. You have to do something dramatic. Do things that you find stupid or that make you feel ridiculous. Because to me, swords, and especially the King of Swords, is a very controlled energy. This is the kind of person that does not allow themselves to be spontaneous. This is the kind of person who needs to be in control at all times. So you're challenged here to do something that's entirely contrary to your nature. And you have the Break the Chain card that's all about breaking old ancestral patterns for the purposes of healing. Because that's what allows you to create a new and different future. It's about leaving the dark and stepping into the light. You see, going into the head and out of the emotions is a defense mechanism against being hurt, because you don't want to feel negative feelings. But by stopping yourself from experiencing negative emotions, you also stop yourself from being able to experience joy and light. It is safe for you to feel, is what I want to say here. You're being guided to take positive action. And this is also the card of going with the flow, about not overthinking, just going for it. Because when you embody the sword energy, you think about things a lot, you overanalyze, which keeps you in the realm of thought and prevents you from acting. You may have a good idea, but then by the time you think it through and overanalyze it, you decide against it. You talk yourself out of it. You decided it's not worth it. And so you spend most of your time in your head. You must become more action-oriented and more spontaneous. Get in touch with your feelings. Let's look at what ails you. Okay, so interesting, you have 3 5s here. You have the 5 of Swords, again, air energy, mental energy. You have 5 of Wands. And you have another 5 of Wands. So a lot of challenging energy here. And the Wands energy here, the 5 of Wands, is internal conflict. Again, this conflict between the 2 aspects of your nature. Duality again with the Lovers. And this is the Gemini card. It's like you have 2 separate individuals living inside you, inside your head, fighting each other for dominance. The King of Wands is my Aries card, so this is fire. So there's quite a bit of fire here with the King of Wands and the 5 of Wands, the 2 cards of 5 of Wands. Now, 5 of Swords. This is the card of winning at all costs. And look, this is the card of mental dominance. This is the card of giving preference to the mental aspects and trying to maintain control over your nature through logic and reason alone. But what this card speaks to is winning at such a high cost that it's no winning at all. So by such heavy focus on the reason and logic and the mind, which you think is superior, which always wins out, you're actually losing. It causes obstacles and challenges. It makes your path more difficult. So what I'm seeing here, pile 2, is that the difficulties that you are experiencing are predominantly of the emotional kind. There is an emotional turbulence here, always having to make a conscious choice whether or not to follow your emotion or to give precedence to reason. Now, some of you may take pride and satisfaction in your superior intellect over others. You may think that being cerebral and primarily a thinker puts you above the rest and gives you some kind of advantage over others. But you're not seeing what you are losing by being so one-sided. And you can also be somebody who can get super argumentative, someone who needs to be right, somebody who needs to prove a point. You do pack a lot of fire and competitive energy. It's important for you to be in the right. And you do not handle well being proven wrong. You can come across really strong and hot-headed at times. Some people might even perceive you as aggressive, and you're likely very competitive. Now, physiologically, let's talk about the Aries and the fact that it rules the head, eyes, face, brain, the adrenal, and the pineal gland. And the Lovers, being a Gemini card, calls attention to the upper body, including the shoulders, lungs, arms, hands, and the nervous system. With all of this fire and even aggression, the nervous system, I feel, is under strain. With this type of energy, you may find yourself inhabiting the fight or flight mode most of the time. It's almost as if you perceive threats all over the place. And this, of course, is going to lead to adrenal exhaustion. And you may already start to feel the effects of this adrenal weakness. So let's look at the underlying issues here. Things that pile 2 may not be aware of is driving their issues. Okay, so look at this card. This is the card of the warrior woman. But this is a very masculine energy type of card. And this is about karmic baggage. Well, I'm saying this because it's combined with the Emperor card. So this is lifetimes upon lifetimes as very strong masculine energy that is authoritative, that is very controlled. Again, look at these cards. Look at these cards. This is warrior type of energy. This is so deeply embedded into the fabric of who you are. And this lifetime is supposed to break that cycle. The cycle of the imbalance between the masculine and the feminine is depicted here by the Lovers. But this is still a transitional period because you see you have the male knight here, then you have the gladiator, and then you still have a warrior, but now this is a woman warrior. So you're still embodying that fighting spirit, but now you're softening that energy a little bit. So it's almost like baby steps. This is a very interesting pile because what I'm seeing here is really more existential, karmic, incarnational. These are deep issues. These are spiritual issues. Let's look at some guidance here. You know what I'm seeing here is that the way you choose to live your life and express yourself is actually biting you in the ass. The way the snake is eating itself. So you have to find a way to break out of this pattern, even though this is a very old pattern. This is almost like stagnation. So this life is supposed to create an impetus for change. And you may be encountering a lot of obstacles, a lot of resistance. And some of you may even feel like the world is against you, that there's a threat around every corner, that people or the government is out to get you, and that you always have to be ready to defend yourself. And you are ready. You're ready to fight. It's in your blood. It's in your DNA. But what you need to understand is that softness is also power. You're also quite solitary. You're used to going it alone. You're not someone who's comfortable asking for help. The energy that I'm getting here, it's you against the world. The two cards I just pulled, time for a nap and time to go. You're called to let go of these deeply embedded patterns. Allow yourself to dream. The moon is about emotions. It also connects us to the mysteries of life. The guidance here is to raise your vibration, but the only way you can do that is by increasing your sensitivity, and that happens by accessing your emotions more fully. It's time to leave the very rigid density of the physical. This lifetime is the opportunity to move to a higher vibrational level of operation. And to do that, you have to leave the very solid footing of the physical world, which you're so comfortable with. You have to allow yourself to indulge in dreaming, imagination, and creativity, opening up to experiences that don't fit into the mold of the physical reality. Like out-of-body travel, lucid dreaming, things that a very intellectual personality might find silly because they're not provable, because from your perspective they're not real. Let go of the need to control. Let go of the need to know everything. What is the end goal here? The blue flame. Spontaneous awakening, an activation of the soul code, of expressing the depth of the soul and manifesting the magic of who you are as the limitless consciousness within the bounds of physical reality. The blue flame is Archangel Michael energy, who of course is the divine warrior. So you, pile 2, are the quintessential warrior. This is who you are. But you can be a warrior and even be a better one by having access to your emotions, by having access to the full range of who you are. Because by cutting off your emotions, you're handicapping yourself. Like this hanged man. Oh, one more thing, pile 2. It just occurred to me as I'm looking at these cards. You have the blue flame here, Archangel Michael's blue flame, which is directly underneath the 5 of Wands, obstacles and challenges. And what do you see here? You see the blue flame bridging the gap in the break here. So that's just an interesting detail that just jumped out at me. And this is Archangel Michael's energy, the protection. This is the energy of integration. This is what bridges the gap in the separation of the aspects of who you are. All right. If you're able to overcome this rigidity, other worlds will open up to you. You have the portal card that says doors are opening, allowing you the choice. Because while you inhabit this very restricted state of being, your choices are limited because your vibrational range is very limited. But when you expand your vibrational range by including the richness of emotions, you allow a whole new level of experience that is very rewarding. You open up to magic. Look at this picture. It's like walking out of the darkness into light. What else does pile 2 need to know? Well, you have the tall whites card. And the tall whites is the race of extraterrestrials that is known for distrust and being guarded. So once again, hello. It just confirms and validates everything that I've said up to this point. And the tall whites are believed to be emotionally unexpressive. They're fiercely protective of their loved ones and their family and offspring. So once again, here's that warrior spirit, that defender in you. And they can also be easily provoked by the smallest things and knocked off balance, causing them to retaliate with no warning. So this is a highly defensive energy, a personality that's always on high alert. Like I said before, the fight or flight mode is perpetually activated. Now, the thing about the tall whites is that they have a fascination and an affinity with animals. So it would be good for you to spend time with animals, because animals are safe to open up our heart to. By giving love to an animal, you're allowing yourself to open up your heart chakra. And little by little, you're allowing more and more emotional expression into your life. Because animals give unconditional love, they're safe to love. So by being able to open up to animals and their love first, you're starting to take small steps to being able to open up to loving and expressing love toward humans. What is your potential for healing? You have the Vesica Pisces. The Vesica Pisces represents divine feminine. If you're able to overcome the challenge of bringing the two polarities that are currently in opposition, you give birth to a third reality that is the blending of the energies, giving birth to creativity, giving birth to new realities, to new ways of being. This is the integration of mind, body, and soul. This is a third reality where the body and soul have equal expression, where the body is no longer limited and the soul can be more fully manifested in an embodied state. Wow, pile 2, this is heavy stuff. This is deep stuff. You have your work cut out for you, but you can do it. Once you understand what the work entails and what the goal is and how to get there, you can get it together and get on the road toward that goal. And it is time for you to go, to get moving. And the best way for you to move beyond the dense physicality is by exploring your dreams. Now, I'm going to pull some guidance cards for you from my homemade deck. Be interesting to see what comes up for you given the reading that you just had. So you have self-love. You have change up your routine. Oh, why is it stuck? Energy healing. And this fell out chakra cleansing and rebalancing. And let's do one more. Release anger and resentment. Wow, this is very interesting. And adjust thinking. I find it interesting how all the cards adhere to the central theme of soul growth, transformation. I really did not see much or anything really at all about physiological ailments and difficulties. This is about soul healing. This is about consciousness development and evolution, starting with self-love, opening up to emotion, because you can't love anybody else until you learn to love yourself. You must release anger and resentment, the things that make you want to fight, the things that make you see enemies and adversaries in others. Adjust your thinking. Change your point of view. Reframe your existence. Reframe your role. And the change up your routine speaks to pattern interruption. You have to do something different. You have the card here. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So another confirmation and validation. And then you have energy healing and chakra cleansing and rebalancing. So you may want to actually see someone who does this professionally, like myself. But you also, I think, need to learn about your energy body, about the chakras, what they do. Get in touch with those energy centers. Be able to tune into them. Develop the ability to feel your energy body. And here's the catch. If you're cut off from your feelings and emotions, you cannot feel the energy body. You cannot feel the chakras because they're part of the emotional body. And cutting off your feelings, of course, blocks your chakras. And blocked chakras eventually become diseased organs and glands. Well, pile 2. So this was a heavy-duty reading, and maybe this was not what you wanted to hear, but perhaps this is what you needed to hear. So I'm going to leave you with that. Good luck to you, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the green aventurine heart, then this is going to be your reading. For each pile, I used 4 different decks to pull cards to sort of show me who you are as a person and what drives you. And since the first 2 piles got 4 tarot cards, even though I originally intended to only pull 3, I decided to stay fair and give you the extra card as well. Alright, so let's see what we're dealing with here, pile 3. Alright, pile 3. Deep, heavy energy here with the Anunnaki card that is paired with the Dragon's Duel. So you came here into this lifetime to transform dark into light. The Anunnaki energy is highly intelligent, highly adept and agile, but it is also the embodiment of polarity, light and dark, feminine versus masculine. The Anunnaki energy represents desire for control, and the polarities that are inherent in this combination are in conflict with each other. And these are deep-seated energies that were brought onto this planet hundreds of thousands of years ago, when the modern human was created as a result of genetic manipulation of the native Earth hominid through combining native human DNA with the extraterrestrial DNA. This is really deep, because this plays into the social issues, the issues of race, black against white, the issues of misogyny, which is the domination of masculine over the feminine. And of course, you have the Dragon's Duel here, which is indicative of inner conflict, issues of morality, conscious choice. This is about coming into balance, balancing our higher instincts by transforming our shadow self. Some of you may be struggling with addiction and compulsions. Some of you may have issues with mental illness, especially the bipolar disorder. But despite these deep-seated emotional and mental issues, you're highly intelligent, highly developed intellectually. Some of you could be even scientists. You could be in the medical field. Hell, you could even be astronauts. Pile 3, you are someone whose mind is very well developed. You carry the knowledge within you that is hundreds of thousands of years old and beyond. This is a very, very old energy that seeded this planet. But this is also the energy of conflict and war. There's a need for dominance. There's a need to assert yourself. But these are the challenges that you came in with. But what you're moving toward is the golden crested dragon. This is the journey from darkness and oppression, which is Orion energy, to complete light and transformation. You see, the Christ consciousness energy that is symbolized by this golden dragon is the 9th dimensional frequency, that is the highest frequency of love that is accessible to us as humans. Now, aside from the Anunnaki influence, you also have the Atlantean influence here, that once again carries a lot of knowledge, and which means that you actually have access to ancient secrets about healing, transforming energy. Both of these energies, Atlantean and Anunnaki energies, represent highly evolved technologies. So some of you could be inventors. Some of you can develop new technologies by accessing karmic information. But you're here to get some healing done. You have the Star card here. It's a major arcana card, and this is the Aquarian energy. So this is transition from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. You're leaving behind a long karmic cycle and entering a brand new level of soul expression. Some of you may be given to anxiety and stress with this Nine of Swords here. And I feel that this stress is due to this internal struggle. Some of you may be feeling stuck and unable to sort of break free of your negative habits. You may even feel powerless. However, you are moving toward higher ground, because I see here that you are taking steps toward healing in some way. You're seeking more clarity. You're trying to get out of the emotional entrenchment, especially negative emotions, to see things from the higher perspective. So we have Aquarius and Pisces here, and Aquarius rules our joints, our circulatory system, calves and ankles, while Pisces rules the feet. So lower extremities could give you problems. You may have water retention and swelling of the legs and feet here with this type of energy. And you may have poor circulation in your lower extremities. The Hangman card here calls my attention. What I'm seeing here is that he is upside down to bring the blood into the head, to increase circulation into the head, because the circulation could be impaired here. I see that there may be a sense of fatigue on your end with respect to fighting yourself. There's a sense of just being sick and tired of being sick and tired, of constantly fighting an uphill battle against yourself, of being at the mercy of your own emotions and not being able to control them very well. I want to pull more cards here for you. The disconnect and boredom card. So yeah, like I said, you're getting tired of this game and becoming emotionally withdrawn, because Eight of Cups is emotional withdrawal. But you have to be careful, because you don't want to be in denial of what's going on. That's not helpful. Cutting yourself off from your feelings is not going to bring you the peace that you're looking for. It's not going to get you out of this Nine of Swords energy. There is hope, though, because the Star is the card of hope. It's about planting seeds for a better, brighter tomorrow. Look at this integration. Remember, we talked about duality. The dragon's dual. Two dragons battling each other. The Anunnaki, light and dark. You have the Two of Cups, the masculine and feminine aspects of the self. And you have the Power card, which is the beast and the man, the higher self and the lower animal nature. So you guys are working out some very old patterns that are embedded deeply into your racial history. Your task is to rise above your lower nature, to tame the beast inside. But the Strength card in the classic Tarot Waite deck, the picture depicts the lion being tamed by a woman, and she is controlling the lion not through aggression but through love and patience. And so this is something you have to do. You have to bring self-love into this. You cannot punish yourself and beat yourself into submission and into creating a better version of yourself. And of course, Two of Cups is all about love, spiritual union. This is self-love again. Now, the Deep Knowing card tells me that you are actually very deeply connected to your inner self. And you're very well aware of what your issues are and what you need to work on. You guys are highly intuitive and connected to the unconscious self. And look how funny it is that I placed this card right underneath the star. And you have all of these stars in this card as well. And this also makes me think that many of you who chose this pile, because of the Anunnaki connection and the stars here are star seeds, there's a long-standing karmic connection to other worlds and other civilizations. You are cosmic travelers, and you have connections to other star systems, and you have the ability to draw on that knowledge in your dream state, in your out-of-body state, and bring that information down into the terrestrial realms. And I'm noticing the owl here, and the owl is the symbol actually represents extraterrestrials. What I also want to add is that the Strength card is the Leo energy, is the Sun energy. This is very strong personality type. When you talk, people take notice, people listen. People are interested in what you have to say because you have so much knowledge. And you come across as quite mysterious. People sense the undercurrent of the star energy within you. And I'm also getting that you intimidate people. People are scared of you. And it's not because you look scary or because you're aggressive. It's just you have such a commanding presence. And that comes from the Strength card and the Anunnaki. Because the Anunnaki were giants. Very strong masculine energy. Both the Anunnaki and the Sun energy of the Leo. Whether you're male or female. There's great wisdom within you. And people sense that. People can feel that about you. You may be 15 years old, but you express yourself as a very old soul. This is very old energy. You have been around the incarnational block many, many, many times. You have such gravitas, such substance, depth, wisdom. You are as old as the world, is what I'm hearing. And your soul is as old as the human civilization. But it goes beyond that, because your soul had gotten its beginnings in other star systems. And this lifetime is your final karmic cycle that you have to complete in this reality. After that, it becomes a choice. It becomes up to you whether or not you want to continue. And if you do, you will be then entering a different capacity. You are no longer going to be here to work out karma. You will be here as a guide and a helper. And you do, even now, you lead the pack because of your experience. Because of the deep knowledge you have within you. You are a leader no matter what you do. And the thing about you is, what I'm sensing is that you don't seek out leadership positions, but you fill the vacuum. You step in to the leadership role when it's needed, because it's so natural for you. And in many ways, you carry the load for other people. You take the weight of other people's shoulders to lighten the load for those who are less capable. You command a lot of admiration and respect. You guys are warriors, but not through aggression and haughtiness, but through deep wisdom and understanding. By being able to have the bird's eye view, to see the long game and how the pieces fit together. As warriors, you fight smart, not aggressively. You use intelligence and strategy. Wow, you're really impressive, Pile 3. And this theme of duality, of balancing the polarities, continues. It's about justice, fairness. Look at this. The split. The split. I mean, how do you shuffle multiple decks and keep drawing the cards that carry the same theme throughout? And here's another owl. Wisdom, extraterrestrial connections. Head up in the sky, high level of thinking, high awareness. Wow, I mean, you can't just make this up. The card of challenges. Again, look at the picture. This is the card called Focus on Higher Truths. Again, bringing the higher consciousness and uniting it with the lower self, integrating it, transcending that. Look at the picture. Again, the duality of the shallow, sort of empty suit human, relatively speaking, to the higher self, the saint, existing within time and space, a wheel of karma. So the challenge is to transcend above physical limitations, to overcome the lower nature and the shadow self, to tame the beast inside, in order to bring forth the divine counterpart, the Christ consciousness. Oof, I'm getting chills. You guys are a force to be reckoned with. All right, so let's look at the underlying issues that you might not be aware of, the influences that may be driving you. The deeper influences that are affecting you at this time. So you have starseed, as I said, connection to the stars, other civilizations. You came here to actually help solve collective karma. You're a part of the solution. And you didn't come here alone. You have the soul family card that implores you to call in your tribe. And this specific card is the connection to the Sirius system. And you can connect to this energy through the ocean and the cetacean energy, which is the whales and the dolphins. This card says you don't have to do it alone. You are such a stoic warrior who is used to fighting all the battles and fighting the battles for others. But this card here says that you don't have to do that. That there's help available. There are others here like you. You didn't come here alone. You're a part of a larger army. And if you reach out, if you use your intention to connect to others of that similar vibration, you'll be able to advance your existential program, and you'll be able to assist each other in accomplishing your goals. The third card you have is Unbound. And this is about releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. This is about tying up loose ends, clearing that heavy energy of restrictive Anunnaki influence. You know, what I'm getting here is that because you're such a strong personality, you don't ask for help. Some of you may be afraid to ask for help, and some of you, it never even occurs to ask for help because you're just so used to being the leader and the driving force. You're the one people ask for help. I mean, in the command chain, you're at the very top. Who else are you going to ask for help? So you have to go above the earthly realm and bring in the energies of the galactic beings and council. And your work goes far beyond healing your personal issues. With this Anunnaki energy, many of you are involved in social causes. You are the warriors for the disenfranchised. You are the warriors for equal rights. You are here to right societal wrongs. The scope of healing that you came here to do extends far beyond the personal. You came here with the tribe of the planetary healers. You came here to exalt humankind with this, oh, I'm getting the chills, with this golden crested dragon. You came to bring the golden age of Christ onto this planet. You're one of the beings who are actively participating and working on this. Your energy has such far-reaching effects. It's so transformational. You are here to knock down old systems. And restructure governments, financial systems, educational systems. You are here to fight for the little man. You are here to be the voice for those who are not being heard. You know, some of you came here to right the wrongs that you did hundreds of thousands of years ago as the Anunnaki colonizers of the earth. This time around, you came here to overthrow those rigid systems that you once came to establish. Whew. Look. Wow, I have such energy coursing through me, I can't even explain it to you. You're showing up here as the Star Keeper. Cosmic ancestor. I mean, hello, Anunnaki. Seed the light by staying grounded. You are the ancient cosmic ancestor, reborn, reincarnated. There's a strong Egyptian energy here that's carried over, which again is the Sirius energy. And looking at these two cards, I'm seeing the face of the Sphinx, which is of course the cat. You guys are something else. I mean, I say something and then I draw the card that confirms it. What do you need to do? Messenger, Sirius energy. What did I say about Sirius just now? Bringing harmony and balance. Rebalancing the scales of justice. Righting past wrongs. What you're moving toward is the Two of Cups. Repeat it again. This is the second Two of Cups that you have here. And that's, of course, is balance. Balancing the polarities. And your outcome as a result of healing. You have the Alpha Dragon, which is harnessing the divine masculine power of creation by destroying the old and by being able to manifest a new world from the collective unconscious. And then you also got the Atlantean Golden Dragon that brings memories and wisdom of the Golden Atlantis. This is awakening to that old knowledge, gifts, and talents, and reclaiming your mastery. And look at the juxtaposition of the dark and the light, the transformation, and again, the polarities between light and dark. The Golden Atlantean Dragon harkens back to the golden era of Atlantis that lasted, allegedly, 1500 years, which was the period defined by harmony, happiness, and this was the 5D level existence, which is what we're moving and evolving toward at this time. The spiritual technology of Atlantis at that time was activated by crystals and mind control. And you have access to that knowledge and information, and you can utilize it today to help implement expansive changes. This card tells you that you are a master. You carry the vibration of deep knowledge that spans galaxies, worlds, and star systems, spans different levels of multi-dimensional realities. The depth of wisdom inherent within you is inconceivably deep. You are one of the divine warriors, ushering in the age of fifth dimensional reality of heaven on earth. And to do that, you also embody the Alpha Dragon, which is the divine masculine, carrying Archangel Metatron's divine light. This is the energy that creates worlds, that created our world and reality. And this is the energy that annihilates and destroys that which is stagnant, that which does not allow growth and expansion. This energy cleans the slate and rebuilds anew. So you, Pile 3, are literally angels on earth. You wield enormous power, and you have enormous spiritual support behind you. You are the army for good. And as you transcend your own difficulties, your own personal challenges, you're able to stand in your light and to channel the divine energy. And if you see from the very beginning of your spread, you have the dragon energy here. You guys are dragons. You are magical creatures. Oof. I mean, where do you go from here? I don't know. I have never done a reading like this. Whoever is tuning into this, I must say I am flattered, because this is some high level energy. Holy crap. I mean, I'm going to pull some cards for you from my healing deck of advice, but there's nothing here that can add any value to the energy that I have in front of me, because this deck is really mundane and really focuses on physical healing. Well, we're talking about the healing of the world, interdimensional healing, interstellar, intergenerational healing. I don't even know if I should pull any cards from this. So my intention here is to pull cards to give you advice that would help you in your journey. But I'm almost embarrassed to do this because I don't know how anything that's written in these cards can ever live up to the gravity of who you are, what you bring, and what you're here to do. So let's see, just for the fun of it. Release anger and resentment. Improve water quality. Rife frequencies. Align your spine. We'll do one more. Let's see. And cellular hydration. Well, it makes sense given your deep connection to Sirius, which is very watery energy, the energy of Aquarius, the water bearer. So water is important for you guys. We have cellular hydration and improved water quality. So I would say do not drink tap water, unfiltered water. Get filtration for your shower, for your faucet in the kitchen. Achieve cellular hydration by using structured water, drinking juices. Rife frequencies are the healing frequencies of sound that impact us on the cellular level. Releasing anger and resentment. It's that old Anunnaki energy, the remnants of that aggression. And what I'm also picking up here is that some of you have a lot of anger against yourselves. You may be judging yourself harshly, or maybe you're beating yourself up over not doing enough or being good enough. So you got to let that go. And then you also have here, align your spine through chiropractic adjustment, as that is going to increase your ability to drain your head, to drain lymph from your brain, and it's going to improve the function of your nervous system, which is quite apropos since you have the Leo card here. And Leo rules the spinal cord. So, I don't know what you're going to do with this, pile number 3, but I must say that it's been an honor to channel this reading for you. And I wish you all the best on your journey. You've got a big job to do here. I want to thank all of you for stopping by and tuning in to this reading. Please subscribe, like, and share, and I promise that I will see you soon with another reading. And please let me know if there are any specific types of readings that you would like me to do for you, and I'll be happy to oblige. Bye, guys.